What's up, everybody? My name is Harwin Francois, multi-six-figure real estate investor. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to find cash buyers so you can get all your deals sold. Now, a lot of times wholesalers, they get happy whenever they get a deal under contract, but that's only the first part of it. The hardest part to me, especially starting off, was getting the deal sold and finding cash buyers for my deal. I'll be going over tools and systems that I use for my business that you can go ahead and implement in your business today. Now, before I dive into it, please make sure you go like, share, and subscribe this video. I'll be giving out a lot of free game and fire content coming on the way. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. All right, guys, so in today's video, I'm gonna be going over how to find a cash buyer for a random property that I just pulled out of Tampa. I pulled it from PropWire, right? And the reason why I pulled Tampa, because obviously that's where I started wholesaling and I began my journey. So let's say we have this deal under contract, right? And we are trying to assign the deal to an end buyer, AKA cash buyer. First things first, what I would do is I would go ahead and copy the address. Then I would go to a service that I love using. It's completely free. To all the newbies out there, you should be using this software for sure because it's free. So PropWire, I'd be going on propwire.com. You'd make an account, and then I'd go ahead and paste that address into the PropWire, right? What you're looking for is you're looking for buyers who bought in the last 6 months within the 1 mile, really like a 0.5 mile radius. So you want people who just did a deal in that same specific area that you're trying to sell the deal for. So PropWire has this neat feature where you can go ahead and click on comps, which stands for comparable properties that sold, nearby. And what I like to do is I like to look for people who bought in the last 6 months. So properties in my area that was sold within the last 6 months. And then, like I said, I like to be within a 0.5 mile radius. Okay. So if we zoom in here, here's our property right here, this little green dot right here. And what we're looking for is an LLC. Guys, wholesaling, you guys are gonna have to use a lot of discernment, a lot of context clues. When you're a wholesaler, you have to pretend like you are almost a detective, right? So you're trying to put the pieces together. So right now we're playing a detective game right now, trying to find a buyer. So what I would do is I would go through each of these comparable properties, and what I'm looking for is an LLC. The reason why I'm looking for an LLC is if someone buys with an LLC, that tells me they're more of a legitimate player. Meaning a buyer can buy within their name, yes, but a seasoned vet, a seasoned buyer, they're going to buy properties within an LLC. So I'm looking for LLCs right now. All right, let's go ahead and click on this property here. And the first thing I want to do is see, was this a traditional buyer or was this an investor? So I'm going to click on the owner. Okay, this is not an LLC. This is just a regular person's name. And properties owned, one property. So this tells me, maybe this was just a conventional buyer. So let's go to the next property. Let's see here. O'Neill Equities LLC. Perfect. This is it. If you guys take a look right here, properties owned, 18. What does that tell me? That tells me this person's doing a lot of deals. This is someone who I need to get in touch with. So what we are going to do now is we have to find whoever the owner of O'Neill Equities LLC is. So I will go ahead and copy this address and implement it to another software that I love to use. My company, we use it all the time. It's called Deal Machine. I'm gonna show you a little bit about Deal Machine. And guys, keep in mind, I'm not getting no type of incentive, calling these companies, these softwares out. These are just softwares that I genuinely been using for a long time and that I love to use, okay? So I would go ahead and paste that address into Deal Machine. And what Deal Machine does is you can pull this out of Deal Machine, but what I use Deal Machine mainly is to skip trace. So Deal Machine, a lot of times they have the LLC's number already skip traced. So in this property, let's see if they have a number. So for this property, they don't have the number. Completely fine. This is when you start getting into your detective mode, okay? So what I like to do when I can't find someone's LLCs or someone's number or the owner of it, in this case, I do see 3 people who might be the owner. I will then go ahead and just Google O'Neill Equities LLC. So search up with Google. The first thing I see, okay, this is the wrong LLC. So I'm looking for O'Neill Equities LLC. Boom, it's literally the first one on Sunbiz. I will then go ahead and copy that address and put that one on Deal Machine. Okay, no worries. It still didn't pop up. No worries, guys. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back on Sunbiz, copy this person's address. We are going to open up a new tab, which is going to be cyber background checks. Cyber background checks is completely free. Guys, everything that I'm showing you guys is very, either it's free or it's very cost efficient. PropWire is free. Deal Machine, I think that's like $119 a month, but it's very worth it, especially if you're wholesaling, very worth it. Cyber background checks does the same thing. It's free, but it's a little bit more time consuming, okay? So we will then go ahead and paste this address into cyber background check, and I'm looking for this person's name, either Shane D. O'Neill's name or Amy A. O'Neill's name. And I'll make sure to blur out their numbers online, just so I don't get in trouble. So let's look for Shane, boom. Shane D. O'Neill, right? These are all his potential numbers right here. What I would do is call all three of these potential numbers right here. And I would say something along the lines, hey Shane, I seen that you were doing a lot of deals in this area. I'd say the zip code. I have another property in that same area. It's more like a fix and flip. I think you'd definitely be interested in it. Is that all right if I can send you some information about it? He's a flipper. I mean, he owns a lot of properties. So majority of the people would say, yeah, go ahead and send it over. If it makes sense, they'll reach back out to you. And yeah, guys, I'd basically do that over and over again. Finding a cash buyer, guys, keep in mind, this is not a 1 to 2 call process. No, you're gonna have to call, it's a volume game. You're gonna have to call 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people sometimes, right? To find that buyer, especially if you're trying to find the highest paying buyer. So I do the same thing, and I'm looking for LLCs that owns a lot of properties. So that's one of the ways that we look for buyers within my company. Another way that I'm going to show you guys is by using another software. Now this is for more seasoned wholesalers, people who got a little bit more capital. This software that I'm about to show you, it costs $250 a month. I know when I was starting out, I probably could not afford $250 a month. But if you've been doing deals for some time now, this is definitely a software. If you do not have it, you are missing out, okay? Okay, so this software is called InvestorBase. All right, so basically I'd go ahead and copy that same address, our subject property that we're trying to look for a cash buyer. Go ahead and paste that into InvestorBase. And I always narrow mine down. I want the buyer who did a deal right in that area. So I always narrow mine down to 0.5. In this case, there is no 0.5, so we can do a mile. 6 months. I always do search period 6 months, okay? Buyer type, I usually look for if it's a flipper or a landlord, don't care. They both can get the deal sent to them. Doesn't really matter, okay? And make sure you click this toggle, this skip trace and save results button on. Okay guys, for some reason my InvestorBase was not working, but I'm basically gonna explain to you exactly what InvestorBase does. So you remember how I was showing you on PropWire where you would have to go one by one down the line and call everybody? So InvestorBase, it basically gives you the hottest buyers using AI and people who's actually done deals in that specific area. And it skip traces that information for you. So majority of the time they'll have all the LLCs, individual name people, and it'll just give you like a list of the top 100 or however much buyers there are in that area, where you don't even have to go ahead and skip trace it. It's already skip traced for you. So all you'll basically do is give that person a call and give them the same script that I just went over with you guys. So that's 2 strategies that we use in my business, that it doesn't matter where we do a deal at. We can be in Mississippi, we can be in Alabama, we can still get deals sold because we have these platforms. And this is how we are able to find our highest paying cash buyers that anybody can use. Now guys, wholesaling is this game of context clues, and basically you're playing the detective like I stated earlier. So a lot of times now we get our deals sold pretty quickly because I've been doing it for quite some time and I've built that buyers list. But when you're starting out, you're going to have to do a lot more reaching out. You're gonna have to do a lot more volume on both the acquisition side and the disposition side, because quite frankly, they don't know you, right? As you start doing more deals, you start keeping your favorite buyers, you start having select buyers that you already know. Whenever you get a deal sold, you already know that deal is going to be gone to that buyer. So starting out, even if you don't find a buyer within the first 2 or 3 days, that's completely fine. That's why I like to recommend my team always get a 7-day due diligence period. That way, if we do not find our buyer within that 7 days, we can always come back and either renegotiate, depending on whatever feedback that we did get from our buyers, or we can go ahead and just cancel the deal. So starting out, it is going to take you a little bit longer to find cash buyers, but that's completely fine. If you use the strategies that I just showed you guys will be finding buyers a lot quicker. Well, that's it on today's video, guys. I hope you guys found a lot of helpful tips that you guys can take today and implement in your own business and scale this thing to the moon. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to this video. Send it to a friend, okay? I'll be dropping a lot of game and knowledge coming your way soon.